Okay, what's up you guys? How's it going? It's Papa, and today I'm going to be showcasing you guys how to do Mathmech combos post Cyberstorm access. So without further ado, I feel like we should just go ahead and jump in, but I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for the love on my last video. I did get a lot of views, which made me want to go ahead and do this video because it was requested by a lot of you, and since it was requested, I want to be able to fill those needs as much as possible. But yeah guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So our first opening hand, all you're going to need is Mathmech Circular, just to show you that the other 4 cards in your opening hand just doesn't matter. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do the simple Mathmech combo if you haven't seen it already, but we're going to start off with our copy of Circular being able to send us a Mathmech to the graveyard, being our Mathmech Sigma to summon itself, just like that. What we're going to do next is you're going to activate your Sigma. Sigma is going to summon itself to the field since you don't control a monster in the extra monster zone. Circular is going to then trigger to add you a spell or trap, and we're going to add our copy of Superfactorial. And basically what you're going to do next, you're going to overlay your Sigma and your Circular, making a copy of Alimbertion. You're going to be able to use the Sigma, so that way when it does get sent to the graveyard this turn, it won't be banished because it's being used as a Xyz material. But what you're going to do is you're going to use the Alimbertion effect on summon to detach 2 to search a Mathmech monster, or Mathmech card, but we're going to add our copy of Mathmech Diameter. So now you have 6 cards in your hand. What you're going to do next is a couple different things that you could do. What you can do is you can activate the Alimbertion to tribute and summon back the Circular if you want. And then what you're going to do next is you're going to use the Diameter, use the effect to summon back out the Sigma. And then you can do a couple different things here. What I like to do is I usually just use the 2 to make the Splash Mage. Splash Mage is going to go ahead and activate to just revive one. I'm just going to summon back out the Diameter, and then you're going to use these 2 for your copy of Heat Soul, like so. What you can do next, just because I like to play around impermanence on the Heat Soul, is that I use the Circular to make a copy of Lingeribo. So now that way, when I use the Heat Soul effect to draw a card, it could just be anything. So now, basically, with the Lingeribo on board, if you do have an impermanence from your opponent, you can negate it with the Lingeribo, so that way your Heat Soul resolves. But yeah, so basically your turn 1 with just Circular alone will end you with 6 cards, 4 random, and then 2, well, 5 random technically, because this is a random card. But basically what it does is that it gets you your access to Superfactorial, and then just 5 other cards in hand, which you can use to extend further if you'd like to, depending on what you draw. But you have a Trap Negate, and then you have a Heat Soul that draws during your opponent's turn, giving you a 7th card. Again, the draw doesn't matter, it's usually just a hand trap, if anything. But yeah, so just off of 1 card, you end with 7 cards against your opponent's opening 6, and as well as a Trap Negate. So that's going to go ahead and do it for the first combo. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay guys, for the second combo, all you're going to need is Firewall Defensor, basically acting as just a main normal summon for your turn. So you just need the Defensor to do this combo. The 4 cards don't matter. They could be extenders, they could be hand traps, they could be starters, whatever it may be. But all we're going to use for this combo is the Firewall Defensor. You're going to normal summon your Defensor, and then you're going to link it off for a copy of Lingeribo, like so. And then the Defensor is going to trigger to summon a Firewall from the deck, mainly being for game 1, so you're going to be summoning out your Firewall Guardian, like so. And then with the Guardian, you're going to use that and the Lingeribo to summon out a copy of Splash Mage. The Guardian is going to trigger to summon itself back out to the field since it was used as link material. And then you're going to use the Splash Mage effect to summon out your Firewall Defensor. And then what you'll do next is you're going to overlay the 2 for a copy of Mathmech Alimbertion. Alimbertion is going to trigger using the 2 monsters that you just summoned back to search a Mathmech card. And this time you're going to go ahead and get a copy of Mathmech Circular. What you're going to do next is you're going to use your Circular to send for cost to summon. And here it could be a couple different things. What I would do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and summon out the new addition to the deck, the Mathmech Nebula. I know it's been out for a while, but No one really played it, let's be honest. So what you're going to do next is you're going to use your Alimbertion effect to summon back out the Nabla, and then you're going to use the circular effect, sorry, to search your factorial first. Moving just a little too fast. So you're going to search your super factorial off of the circular since a Mathmech monster was summoned. Then what you'll do next is you're going to use your Nabla to summon out a new Mathmech. Basically what we're going to go here is just for Sigma. You could use Sigma or you can use Diameter. I like using the Sigma so that way I have it for follow-up for next turn in case my monster in the extra monster zone gets sent to the graveyard. So now with this being your board state, what I would like to do here is that I would actually use the Circular and the Splash Mage to make your copy of Transcode Talker, and you're going to use the Transcode Talker effect to bring back the Splash Mage. And then what you're going to do here is you're going to use the Splash Mage, the Sigma, and the Transcode Talker, and you're going to make a copy of Firewall Dragon, Dark Fluid, Neo Tempest, Tellurium, I don't know, Terahertz. Sorry, I don't know where I got the other one from. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to use the effect of the Tempest to send a copy of your Cyberst Evasive Worm to basically gain the attribute, and then it's also going to gain 2500 attack as well. And with the Evasive Worm, basically what it does is that during your opponent's turn, you can banish it from the graveyard and negate an effect, which is really good. And then you still have the Factorial, and then you have 4 other cards in hand, which, let's be honest, is probably going to be a hand track of some sort. And then also during your opponent's turn, what you can do is that you can go ahead and you can go ahead and send the Myriolic Aggregator as an extra form of interruption for negating a face-up card on the field as well. So yeah, just with the Defensor, you were able to end on the Factorial still with a Neo Tempest Terrorem, and basically, I said it again, what is it called? Terahertz, my bad. So yeah, just off of that one card gets you the Firewall, the Super Factorial, and 2 forms of interruption during your opponent's turn, which is very nice. But that's combo number 2. Let's go ahead and get into the third combo. Alright guys, for combo number 3, what we're going to be accessing is Firewall Defensor and Parallel Exceed in your opening hand, just to end on just a much better end board, which is better than the previous end board that you just saw. But you're basically just going to need Defensor, Exceed, and then just 3 other cards in hand, basically just your starting hand. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do the same thing that we did in the last combo. We're going to normal summon our copy of Defensor, and then we're going to link it off for a copy of Lingeribo. And then you're going to use the Defensor effect, just like last time. You're going to go ahead and use the effect to summon out the Firewall Guardian. And then you're going to use the Guardian and the Lingeribo. And you're going to summon out a copy of Splash Mage. And what you're going to do with Splash Mage is you're going to go ahead and use the effect. But first you're going to want to activate your Guardian to summon it back out to the field. Splash Mage is going to go ahead and summon back out the Defensor, and then you're going to use these 2 again for your copy of Alimbertion. Alimbertion is going to trigger on the summon to search yourself a Mathmech card. And so, of course, you're going to want to go ahead and get your copy of Circular, just like last time. You're going to use your copy of Circular to go ahead and send for cost a Mathmech monster to the graveyard. And what you're going to do here is you're going to send, again, the Nabla to summon itself out. You're going to use the Alimbertion effect to summon the Nabla from the graveyard. Circular going to go ahead and trigger, adding yourself a copy of Factorial, like so. And then with this being your board right now, you're going to use the Nabla effect to go ahead and summon another Mathmech. Basically, the purpose of this is to go ahead and make sure you have 3 names in the graveyard for your Factorial to be live for your opponent's turn. And that's really just the gist of it. I mean, you can make an Alimbertion, but most to be honest, you're going to be making Laplacian most of the time anyway. So with this hand, what we're going to do next is we're going to actually go ahead and use these for the Transcode Talker, if I can find it. So Transcode Talker. So once your Transcode Talker is on the field, you're going to actually go ahead and activate your copy of Parallel Exceed to summon itself to the field to the zone that your Link monster points to. You're going to use Parallel Exceed effect to summon from the deck, like so. And now that you have these 2, what you can go ahead and do is that you can actually use the Transcode Talker to summon out a monster back to the field. And with these being your field right now, what you can do is you're going to go ahead and use the Exceed, Sigma, and the Transcode Talker, and you're going to make yourself a copy of Firewall Dragon Terahertz, like so. You're going to use the terahertz effect to send the Divisive Worm, like that. So now this is live for your opponent's turn because you control the terahertz. But what you can also do now with the Exceed and the Splash Mage is you can use these two to summon out your copy of Decode Talker Heat Soul, and basically it's going to give you a draw for your turn. Amazing. Draw and knock bird, always good. And then now you have the terahertz and you have a Heat Soul, and then during your opponent's turn, during their draw phase, you'll activate the Heat Soul again, giving you another draw. So with this, your end board is basically going to be a set copy of Factorial, basically making it to where you have Loplation live during your opponent's turn. You have Droll and Lockbird and Ogre, which is basically just 2 extra cards that you got from the Heat Soul. And then you have this to go ahead and send a copy of the Aggrolator as well, right here for your opponent's turn too. So you have 1 interruption, 2 interruptions, possibly up to 3 interruptions, Droll and Lockbird and Ghost Ogre for like 2 more interruptions, and 3 other cards which could be more interruptions, or they could just be extra follow-up depending on your hand. But yeah, that's going to be combo number 3. Let's go ahead and show you guys the 4th and last combo. Okay, you guys, here's combo number 4. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to do the same opening hand. We're going to have the Firewall Defensor and Parallel Exceed for your starting hand. What you're going to do is you're going to normal copy... Wow. What you're going to do is you're going to normal summon your copy of Firewall Defensor, link that off for a copy of Lingaribo, like last time. So what you're going to do is that you're going to go ahead and do Chainlink 1 Defensor, and you're going to do Chainlink 2 Parallel Exceed to summon. So this summons first, Defensor is going to resolve, and what you're going to summon off of here is you're actually going to go ahead and summon off the Firewall Phantom from the deck. And then on a new chain, Parallel Exceed is going to activate to go ahead and summon out another Parallel from the deck, like so. And now that you have 2 level 4s on the field, you can use these 2 to summon out your copy of Alimbertion. Alimbertion is going to trigger, and you're going to search a copy of Mathmech Circular from your deck to the hand, like so. You're going to activate your Circular in hand, sending for cost a Mathmech card. Big shocker, what we're going to be sending here is the Mathmech Nebula. So that way your Circular gets the summon. You're going to use our Alimbertion effect to summon back out the Nabla. And before you activate the Nabla effect, of course, you're going to use your Circular effect to search the Mathmech Super Factorial, like so. You're going to use Nabla effect, attributing itself to summon a Mathmech from the deck. Again, it could be Diameter if you want to, but in this case, we're just going to go ahead and use Mathmech Sigma for follow-up. And what you'll do here is you're going to use the Firewall Phantom and the Mathmech Sigma to make a copy of Splash Mage. Now that you have Splash Mage on the field, what you're going to do is you're going to activate your Firewall Phantom. When it's sent to the graveyard as a material for a link summon, you can go ahead and add a Cynet Spell or Trap. In this case, we're going to search Cynet Conflict, add it to the hand. So now this is your hand, you have the Factorial and the Conflict. So now that you have the Splash Mage on the field, you're going to go ahead and use the effect of the Splash Mage, basically just going to summon back out any Cybers monster in defense position. So in this case, we're just going to use the Defensor. You're going to use the Circular in the Splash Mage to make your copy of Decode Talker Heat Soul. And now with the Heat Soul here, you're just going to use the effect to draw a random card, being Sigma. I guess that's fine. So now what you have for your opponent's turn is that you have a Factorial, an Omni Negate because you control a Code Talker monster, and then you have a Trap Negate, and then you have an additional draw during your opponent's turn. Amazing. So you have an extra hand trap, you have 3 interruptions, and then it could be basically up to 5 with the Loplation that you're most likely going to be using. You have 3 other random cards in hand, and then you have a Trap Negate as well. So that's going to be combo number 4. Let me show you guys just one more combo. It's not the combo that I prefer to use, but I did get requested to do a combo with the new Firewall Singularity. So we're just going to go ahead and showcase that one real quick, and that will probably be the end of the video after that. So let's go ahead and move to combo number 5. All right, you guys, and now time for the last combo. What I'm going to be showing you guys is how to do the Firewall Dragon Singularity combo. And what would you guys feel if I told you that you can do it with just 1 card? So that one card is going to be your Firewall Defensor, and what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and normal summon the Defensor, of course, why wouldn't you? Use the effect to link, or not use the effect, you're just going to link off the card for a copy of Lingeribo, like so. Singularity, or not Singularity, wow, Defensor, you're going to go ahead and trigger to special summon a Firewall monster, being your Guardian. And now with these two, you can go ahead and use a link summon for a copy of Splash Mage, like so. And then you're going to use your Firewall Guardian effect to summon itself back out to the field. Splash Mage is going to go ahead and use the effect to summon back out the Defensor. And then you're going to use these two to make your copy of Alan Bershin. Alan Bershin then going to activate, detaching both to search a Mathmech card. This case, of course, since we don't have it already, we're going to add Circular. You're going to use Circular effect to send for cost any Mathmech monster to summon itself. And of course, we're going to go ahead and use All Reliable now, being Mathmech Nabla to the graveyard to summon. You're going to use Alan Bershin effect to tribute itself, summon back out the Nabla from the graveyard. You're going to use Circular effect to search for your Super Factorial. And if you wanted to keep extending, if you had like a Parallel Exceed or something in hand, what you can do is you can search Mathmech Equation. But in this case, we're just going to play it safe, get the Factorial. You're going to use the Nabla effect to tribute and summon a Mathmech monster, being Sigma. Again, because it's really good follow-up, and I just feel like the deck needs it. What you'll do next is you're going to use the Sigma and the Splash Mage to make your Transcode Talker. Transcode Talker going to go ahead and activate, summoning back out the Splash Mage. And then what you'll do here is you'll use the Circular, the Splash Mage, and the Transcode Talker. And you're going to go ahead and summon out a copy of Firewall Dragon Singularity. So that's basically the combo just with one card. What you're going to end on is you're going to have the two interruptions, basically the double bounce with Singularity because you have an Xyz monster and Link monster in the graveyard. And then you have the Laplacian play with the Factorial, 4 other cards in hand. And if you had like another card, like say like Parallel Exceed, what you can do is basically what I would do is I would just take this, put it back, search the equation because you'll have the 2 Parallel Exceeds, and then you're going to use the equation to just go ahead and just link climb into a Heat Soul. But right now, this was just to showcase you how easy it is to actually make Singularity in this deck. I don't personally play it in my list just because I haven't enjoyed it too much. The double bounce is nice, don't get me wrong, but it's just too reliable and doesn't really get you where you want to be most of the time anyway. But that's going to go ahead and do it for the combos, guys. I really hope you enjoyed these combos. I hope they help you learn how to play the deck. And thank you again so much for the love and support on the last Mathmech video that I did. Hopefully this one is just as enjoyable for you guys. And until next time, this has been Papa, and I will catch you all in my next video. Take care, everyone.